Good afternoon. I take that back. Good morning if you're in America. It is getting late for those Eretz Yisrael. It's not Shabbos yet, but it's getting there. I'm a fancy Frockway. Um, and we're learning the same thing today, tomorrow. Awesome. Parshas maasei. Matos maasei. I'll probably come late to shul because I already heard matos. I'm not going to tell you how it starts off, but I know how it goes. So it's really interesting. A lot of Torah where we have 42 travels of the Jewish people in the Midbar. Each place was a lesson. Each place they went from level to level until they come to number 42, Gorei Yisrael. Fantastic. What's interesting? What's interesting is there's also a 42 in the Parsha as well in Maasei. Really, already Miklat 42. There's 6 initial and there's 42 additional places. Is there a kesher 42? Why 42? So what does 42 do for us? Why is 41 40? So first of all, 42, the letters of Shem Meforish, the largest name of Hashem that the Kohanim would say in the Beis Hamikdash, 42. Also, if you take 7 days a week, 6 directions, 42. Okay, so 42 has a connection of Shem Meforish, has showing everywhere, every direction, every place you go. And the Jewish people, 42 places in the Midbar, did everything. They experienced everything, from good to bad, sin, Averos, the Torah, all these things, all the stories, 40 years, that's what they went through. Orei Miklat, what's the point of 42? So they started with 6, 3, and 3. And Moshe says that they were going to add 42 more places, 42. And there's 2 lessons, I think, that these 2 things are put together. First is traveling. When a person travels, a person is away from their home. A person's away from their comfort zone. And this is important to know. It's important to realize this. When a person's away from your comfort zone, you then could appreciate the next person who's a new person. I'm in Israel 17 years, although not today. Not today. But in Israel 17 years. And I remember the first day, the first week, the first month, the first year, you really have to lean on people for things. And Baruch Hashem, 17 years later, I meet new people in the shul, and I'm trying to, why is the bank closed? Oh, of course, the bank's closed during the afternoon. No, of course it's closed. The post office, you have to do these crazy things. You really have to help the new person. And I always tell the new people, oh, you know something? I'm helping you now, but a year from now, you're going to be the one to help somebody else. And the truth is, my Hebrew isn't great, and I actually do feel each day like I'm kind of making aliyah, and I have struggles like an Oleh. And the purpose is you shouldn't really be totally comfortable. Always be thinking of the next person, someone who doesn't have it. If you live in your own little box and you're totally cut off, then you don't appreciate what the next person is going through. And the point of traveling place to place, and a Levi in the city of Levim, which are Miklat, is just like a Levi didn't have a real place they owned. Each Shev had a place to live, not the Levim. Levim had their cities, and whether they had rent, whether they owned it or not, but they always had a feeling that they don't really belong, they don't really have a place. And when you're thinking you're a traveler and not a place, you then have the sensitivity to welcome somebody, to help the next person. The people, this person is coming to live in Orei Miklat, they just killed someone, B'shogeg, they need some help, they need some direction. And if you just close your eyes and think, you know what, I got my own, heck with that guy, you're never going to help that next person. But if you do take effect, you know what, I'm a traveler, it's not really my land, I'm kind of renting this place, then I'm sensitive to looking at sensitive to the other person's needs. The other part of Orei Miklat is going on the person himself. The person kills B'shogeg, runs to Orei Miklat. And what's the purpose of this? You stay there until the Kohen dies? What's the purpose? Why not a year? Why not 10 years? In jail, a person's in prison for a certain amount of time. What's this based on the Kohen dying? And in Arba Shemesh, Machman, Clemens, Kalman, Epstein, the Arba Shemesh, says you look at the person's now forced to go to Orei Miklat, to look to Levium, and now have a kesher to the Levium and Tzaddikim of the generation. Someone who kills B'shogeg, whether they were gross negligence, They didn't care about somebody else. They weren't too careful. They have some really big averos to atone for. They killed somebody, even b'shogeg. But when you look at a tzaddik, you see how careful a tzaddik is. Even small things, they're constantly doing tshuva. They said something, they did something, and the Rotzim should say, you know something? If these tzaddikim, these Leviim, are so careful about little averos, kal v'chomer, I have to be careful about myself. And we look at this killer. If he just cares if the Goel Adam is by the gate trying to kill him, that's not real, it's not tshuva. No, he has binoculars. The Goel Adam is not there. Let me go leave, let me go to 7-Eleven, let me go traveling somewhere. I'm not scared of the Goel Adam. No, that's not the purpose. The purpose of the Rotzeach being an Orei Miklat is not because he's scared of the Goel Adam. He should be scared of this great sin that he did. He killed b'shogeg. He did something that he wasn't careful. And when you are looking and you kind of live with the Leviim, see what they're doing, see how careful they are, that's going to have a roshem on the Rotzeach. And his going free is tied to the Kohen. A Kohen, as long as he's alive, you never know if he had tshuva. The Kohen davens for people. The Kohen Gadol has all the people in mind when he does the avoda. And when the Kohen dies, then we know that if he was a tzaddik, he died with a full tshuva. And then the Goel Adam, the Rotzeach, knows I can leave Orei Miklat now because the tshuva that the Kohen did for me and my own tshuva allows me to go free. So here we see the Orei Miklat had two things. One is the people that live there, the Leviim, should be sensitive to the Rotzchim, and the Rotzchim themselves should also be sensitive and learn from the Leviim how they should treat other people, how should be sensitive, and how should they do tshuva. Shabbat Shalom.